Hello everyone, welcome back to Conquer College Admissions YouTube channel. My name is Julie Kim and I help and mentor high school students to get accepted into their dream colleges using passion projects. If this is your first time landing on this page, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you will be notified when I release new videos every week. If you've been watching my videos or if you're in my community, you know that I have all of my students work on what we call a passion project. And passion project is a way for you to stand out in this very competitive college admission process and at the same time really explore and identify what is it that you are truly passionate about and what you would like to do moving forward. So I created a 4-step framework process so that you can go ahead and follow step by step in order to create the best passion project that you can ultimately showcase to your college admission officers. So just to give you an overview, there are 4 steps. Number 1, strategize. Number 2, brainstorm. Number 3, execute. And number 4, scale. So first, we're going to be talking about step 1, strategize. Most high school students make the mistake of thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to create a passion project. What are the ideas out there? How can I make it unique and fun and interesting? And that is the number 1 mistake that students make, because you have to first strategize your theme and your application. It's not just about adding a random passion project to your application and saying that that's good enough. It's very important that you strategize your application, because Ivy League and top tier colleges are not looking for a well-rounded student. They're looking for a well-rounded class. So you've got to be known for something. You've got to demonstrate something very special about you or something that is very unique to you. So we need to first work on strategizing. So here is where you will be using my formula. And inside our programs, we call this the Ivy League top tier formula. And it is essentially in your academic interest plus your personal interest plus SPV. SPV stands for strength, personality, or values. So once you have that formula down, that's when you know that you're ready to start brainstorming your passion project. If you don't know what your theme is and if you didn't finalize it yet, then you're not ready to go on to the next step, which is brainstorm. Now, this is a fun phase where you can brainstorm your passion project, and inside our program, we have 5 different types of passion projects that my students work on. Type 1 is a media/creative passion project where you can create your YouTube channel, podcast, website, blogs, and really present yourself in the online world so that you can go ahead and attach those links and that evidence of your passion project to your application. So for example, one of my students created a women empowerment organization online where she had other high school students write for her blogs, and she also was able to create thousands and thousands of community using her platform. So that's one. And one of my students is working on a podcast where he is interviewing people about political issues. He's also talking and sharing his own opinion in the episodes, and so he has his own podcast going, which really highlights his academic interest. Type number 2 is a research assistant position, and I help a lot of my students land their dream research assistant position using our professor outreach system in our program. And essentially, you are networking with professors and approaching them the right way so that you can land that position that really aligns with your academic interest. It can't be general. So if you're saying, I want to be a doctor one day, so if you are just trying to reach out to a professor who is specializing in cancer, but you are not interested in that topic at all, it just doesn't make sense. So that's why it's so important for you to work on step number 1, strategize. And so that's exactly how my students land research assistant positions. And you might think oh my gosh, can I really land a position? Is it possible? Is it hard? It's all doable. I help my students land their positions using our step-by-step formula. Type number 3 is intern position, and this is for students who are interested in going into business or want more hands-on experience. And also we use a LinkedIn outreach system and also an email outreach system so that students can network with companies and supervisors and managers so that they can land their dream intern position as well. So that's something for you to also consider. Type number 4 is working on a service-based project. So my students actually create their own businesses, and that is really the best way to show your your interest in business and that you put yourself out there and you're showing your personality and your grit and your resilience and your creativity, all of it. And you can also share your business with the colleges, which makes it such a compelling case for why you are a great fit for their business program. So my students create their own service organizations. One of my students, she is working on a homeless shelter project where she is helping out homeless women feel more beautiful. So she's also working on that as a service project. So that's type 4. And type 5 is getting published in magazines and pitching your idea, pitching your passion project, and getting your message out into the world. And that adds a lot of credibility to your application. And regardless of your college application, it's such a great, powerful way to get your powerful message out there. So those are the 5 types of passion projects that my students work on, and that's something for you to consider as well in your brainstorming process. Step number 3 is execute. Execute is actually you doing the work, setting up the website, setting up your social media accounts, setting up emails to professors and sending them to supervisors at the companies you want to work for, actually getting to work. Now, there are a lot of details that go into this part of the process, but for the sake of this YouTube video today, I want to share with you the number 1 mistake that students make. So students will go ahead and create a website, and then that's it. Like, there's nothing else that they do, and that's the number 1 mistake that they make. College admission officers are looking for consistency and how you're always improving what you're working on, right? So if you create a passion project and you have a website and then it's just like kind of dead and no one goes to it, then that's not a sustainable passion project. And so make sure that there's always a connection, a circular movement going from your website to social media platforms, collaborating with other organizations, and making that movement continuous so that it is sustainable, so that you're always showing growth in your application. Execution could also come in different ways where you're sending out the emails. And so for my students, I make it really simple so that they can just use an email template that worked for so many of my other students as well. It's just a matter of changing up the details so that the email that you're sending is appropriate for that professor. Step number 4 is to scale your passion projects. You can only get here if you already have a passion project running, and that is number 1, you can collaborate with other organizations, and a lot of my students do this, and when they partner up, the momentum, the amount of impact gets bigger and bigger. Another way you can scale your passion project, like I mentioned earlier, to pitch your idea to magazines and newspapers and spread your message and continue to work on getting your message, getting your project to a lot of people out there. Another way that you can also scale your passion project, especially if you are working as an intern or working as a research assistant, is to get that recommendation letter from your professor or whoever is supervising you, because recommendation letters are one of the most important components of your application, so you can scale your passion project that way as well. So there are many creative ways to scale your passion project, but keep in mind that you're not doing this just to look good on your application. Of course, that's covered, but you really want to work on something that lights you up, that you're truly passionate about, and something that you can grow from, so that you are just enjoying this process altogether. I see a lot of high school students work on passion projects because they think they need to, even though they're not really passionate about that topic. So it's very, very important that you start off with step 1, which is strategize, and then brainstorm, and then execute, and lastly, scale. All right, I hope you enjoyed the 4-step process for creating your passion project. If you have any questions about your passion project ideas, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Let's get the conversation going. Also, if you want to take your college admissions level to the next level with me so that you can create your passion project, you can land your dream positions, whether that's research or intern or whatnot, make sure to put yourself on the waiting list for our signature program, the Ivy League Formula. And that program is a group college consulting program where you work with me for the 6 months to create and execute your passion project. Right now, the program is closed and full, but we will open again. So if you put yourself on the wait list, you will be the very first person to know. All right, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.